What's up, YouTube? Supernova back again. Wanted to film the finished product. This is another video. If you've been watching my videos, or if you want to subscribe to my channel to get updates on videos, my YouTube channel name is Supernova. Last video I had gotten my so-called cold air intake or short ram intake or whatever. I noticed I had a little bit better airflow with this, so I guess, you know, it does make a difference. But I just wanted to show y'all the finished product, my brand new mass airflow sensor, new filter, pipe, and all that good stuff. Still got the 150 shot on there, still got the timing at -2 degrees, but this is not what the video is about. I wanted to let y'all know the time has come. I've been saying that I'm going to be making videos on how to do a turbo build for under 10 grand. Well, the time has come. I spent $1,800 on a single turbo kit. The turbo is new, the blow off valves are new, just the piping is used, which I have. The exhaust piping anyway is used, which I have no complaints about. Or I think they're used. They had a little soot in the pipes or whatever, but if the turbo is cheap, you know, I can always swap that out. It's the kit itself, they're freaking expensive. So, but I wanted to let you know the time has come. A lot sooner than I expected. I really did not want to be making a video this soon, because, to be honest with you, I don't have the money. So I'm thinking about setting up a GoFundMe page. A friend of mine talked me into it, and I had a buddy of mine at work told me that I can borrow against my 401k to do this build. It's not that I want to do the build. I mean, I do want to do the build, but I didn't want to do it this soon because I wanted to save my money, get all my parts ordered, get them all together before I started to dive off into this. But just to let y'all know, I got the car back together. I got it running a couple days ago. I took it out on the highway, romped on it a few times, and I got up to about 140. I hit the spray, 150 shot, and it shot up to 160 mile an hour, no problem. But the results are catastrophic. So let's get down to it. These are two, let's see if I can, these are the two of the three spark plugs that have completely melted. Now these are not just basic spark plugs. These are iridium spark plugs. Three of them like this, and this is one step colder than what the car requires. This car on an NGK plug requires a heat range of 5. And these are heat range of 6, which is one step colder. These are the plugs that requires heat range of, come on, focus. Heat range of 5, there we go. Heat range of 5, that's what an iridium plug is supposed to look like, okay? And this is what my plugs look like. Just to let y'all know, this is 3 of them that look like this. Now I have used nitrous to get up to a high speed before, but that was on a 100 shot. The speedometer pegged out at 160 and just kept on going, so I don't know if I hit 165, 170, but I've used a 100 shot, no problem. 150 shot, this is what happens. I mean, you can do this all day long. See if I can get it to focus. There we go. You can do this all day long, you know, from 0 to go with 150 shot, but going full-fledged speed like this, that's a no-go. So don't do it. But this video is to let y'all know the time has come. I'll be making videos here shortly. I'll be making an introduction video of what I'll be doing. I don't know about the order I'll be doing it in, but I'll just post update videos on what I'm doing or whatever. But I'll be doing an introduction video of what I plan on doing throughout the process, what needs to be done, and stuff like that. Do's and don'ts, just recommendations. This is not gonna be videos, keyword, this is not going to be a how-to video on how to build your motor. This is how I'm gonna build my motor. This is just to show that a turbo motor can be built for under 10 grand. Now the turbo was 1800, okay? This is the budget I've come up with. This thing's been sitting on my refrigerator for a little over a year. K1 billet forged rods, 6 of them for 560 bucks. Dietrich Works, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Fuel injectors, 6 of them. They're 600cc injectors for $530. Wiseco Pro pistons, the best pistons you can, best force pistons you can ever buy. $723 for 6 of them. AMSOIL, I really wouldn't count oil as being part of the engine build budget, because I mean that's with any motor that you're gonna be building is AMSOIL, but that's $220. That's break-in oil, and then the assembly oil, and then the assembly lube, and then the engine oil you're gonna be putting in there after you do the break-in. Also antifreeze and stuff like that. OBX oil pan spacer, $94. That's what I'll be using for the return line on the turbo. Also, it spaces your oil pan out and gives you an extra quart of oil in your motor, which is something you'll definitely need when you're spending your motor 8 grand, 8,000 RPM. Engine gasket set, go to Rock Auto, get a full Fel Pro engine gasket set for $86. Darton MID sleeves, a set of 6. These are stainless steel sleeves, to my understanding. They can withstand up to 130,000 psi before cracking under pressure. I forgot how hot they can get before they even start to score or wear or whatever. But $1,088 for a whole set. I'm gonna try to find me a good machine shop to press those in. ARP head studs for $271. ARP main studs for $159. Cosworth head gaskets, $200 a piece. Keyword a piece. That's 2 head gaskets you need, one for each side, so you'd be spending $400. Brian Quauer, whatever, valve springs are very, very high strength valve springs. I'll definitely be running that in my heads because of the high RPM I'll be spending. Those are $158. That's a pretty good price. The timing set I won't be buying because these are pretty much, Nissan is very good at maintenance free timing sets. The only thing that might go out on them is the tensioners. I will be changing the tensioners, however I'll probably be reusing the chain and the guides themselves because I know they can't be worn. That if you watch my videos on engine rebuild on the 03 Altima, the guys that I took out of them had hardly any wear on them. The chain itself had hardly any wear on it. The only thing that went bad on it was a timing chain tensioner. That was the only thing that went bad on it. But that's why I'll be changing in here is the timing chain tensioners, and that's it. Maybe the chain, I doubt I'll even do that. But I mean, there ain't no sense in replacing something that doesn't have any wear on it. So the timing set I probably won't be buying. The flywheel, it's a full aluminum flywheel, $308. What I don't have on this list is the cost to tune it. I did have a VSI 2534 or something like that. It's supposed to be a ECM reprogrammer, but I did more research on it. It's mainly for your domestic vehicles for troubleshooting codes. So there ain't no sense in buying that if that's all I can do. So I'll probably take my car somewhere, put it on dyno, and get it tuned that way. I probably wind up spending the same amount as I would on that programming system, which is about maybe $1,200. So also I don't have on this list is the price of these spark plugs. These are the spark plugs I'll be going with. These spark plugs are two ranges colder than the factory recommendation, so it should work good for the single turbo setup. The single turbo setup I'll be running is 8 pounds. You gotta crawl before you walk. I want to, get this motor working in, and if the motor can take more power or more boost or whatever, I probably won't even touch the turbo. I mean, if it holds up good, I'm gonna probably leave it. I'll probably start using nitrous after that. Like if I can go like a whole lot more on putting power into the motor, then I'll probably start using the nitrous at that point. I'll probably start out with a 50 shot. I might go to 100, but that's about it. 100 shot of nitrous will probably be my max because of what happened to these spark plugs. I know this car can handle 100 shot of nitrous all freaking day long. I done put like 5 bottles of nitrous through it, running 100 shot. One of those bottles is 150, but that was, first, second gear rolling, and from 0 to go, and then getting out of it. I never really put the full strength of 150 shot on this motor, but I did this time, and then this is what you get. So 3 other plugs wouldn't hurt, but I still had misfire on 2 cylinders. After I changed the plugs, I still had a misfire on 1 cylinder. In case y'all wondering why this motor is screwed up, it's not just the plugs. It's one of these cylinders is dead. One of these cylinders either got a burnt hole in it, cracked head, or whatever, but it's like completely dead. It's got no compression. I mean, you can crank it up and it just runs completely stupid. It runs on 5 cylinders basically. So the motor is, I'm hoping it's just a piston that's junk. If the head is junk, then I have to replace the head. I seriously doubt the block is junk, because I mean, the worst that can happen is that a sleeve can crack, which is going to get new sleeves anyway. So I'm sure the block ain't hurt, but worst case scenario, one of these heads are gone. So I don't know yet. But yeah, I'll be running these plugs. Something else I don't have on this list is an aluminum harmonic balancer. Is something else I don't have this list, but what you see on here is pretty much the main budget for the car, which comes out to $4,607. I don't think the timing set's included in that, because like I said, I'm not buying that. Now of course I'll probably be spending more than this, because you gotta think I gotta get hoses, I gotta get clamps. I gotta have, coolant. What else? I might have to get some welding done. I might have to get some additional piping done. Who knows? I might have to go buy a welder and cut in some places and re-weld it. I don't know. I was looking right here where the turbo piping is supposed to go, like the exhaust piping, and it looks like I'm gonna have to cut some heater pipe and reroute it with rubber hose. So I'll be buying some rolls of hoses and stuff like that. Also, this doesn't include the money I'm gonna spend taking it somewhere to get it tuned on the dyno. This doesn't include the air fuel ratio gauge that I'll be buying, but that's just small stuff. I would probably say maybe an extra $500 in miscellaneous stuff. That's not counting the $1,200 I might spend getting it tuned. I got a call somewhere to see about getting this tuned. See how much they're going to cost me. What I want to do, I want to get it, the throttle body, the ignition timing, and the fuel injection. I want to get all that tuned. The rev limiter set to 8,000 RPM. I want to get all that done, and I want to get the timing as high as possible before it starts to lean out. Then I want to start working on the nitrous. Start out with a 50 shot, then go to 100, maybe, I'm not sure, but definitely a 50 shot, maybe 100, but just keep working at it. So that's what's going on with that. It's going to take some work to tune it. I'd rather get on a dyno, take it to a shop somewhere, and let somebody know what they're doing when tuning an ECM on this car and how to set, different parameters of the computer and stuff like that. I don't want to risk buying something that I don't know what the hell to do with. Now, put a blindfold on me, I can build these things all freaking day long. So that's what I'm looking at. So let's say 5,000 with all parts, plus 1,800. You're looking at 6,800. Let's see, 6,800 plus 12, another 1,200. That's, let's see, 8,000. Yeah, 8,000. That's just a rough estimate. $8,000 for a full blown single turbo build. I'm talking about from top to bottom, overkill on some areas, tuning it, everything. $8,000. You cannot beat that. That's why I'm making this video, to show that it can be done, building a turbo motor that's almost bulletproof, with a single turbo setup for under 10 grand. That's the whole purpose of these series of videos that I'll be making. So now I will say that a few things that are overkill is the main studs and the dart and sleeves are probably overkill with what I'm doing. Just with the rods and pistons and the valve springs and stuff like that, it'll probably handle every single bit of, power I'm gonna be throwing at this thing. But I just want to build this motor to where it could handle at least 1,200 horses before it comes apart, or even more. I don't know. It might be able to handle 1,500 horses before it comes apart, but that's the whole purpose, is overkill. When a little does good, a lot does better, but too much is just right. When you go to weld up a steel frame building or something like that, you don't conserve on your welding. I mean, you stack that shit. I mean, just stack it on there because you don't want it coming apart. I mean, it's kind of like this. When you use bolts on a, when you use bolts on, let's say, head bolts or whatever, you're not going to go with cheap stuff. You're going to go with the high strength head bolts. I mean, it's always good to, you know, overkill on some stuff. I mean, those darting sleeves are probably not needed, but I want this motor to be able to hold up to anything that I throw at it. But that's the whole purpose of doing this. I mean, studded head, studded main, stainless steel, I mean solid stainless steel sleeves. It's got the block guard molded into it, so it keeps the cylinder wall from stretching out at the top dead center area of the combustion chamber. If I'm not mistaken, it's about that thick. So, but I just wanted to let y'all know, all you YouTubers out there, subscribe to my channel, Supernova. This thing will be coming out sometime tomorrow or sometime next week. I'll be making an introduction video of what I'll be doing and when I'll be starting this. I do plan on trying to borrow money out of my 401k. It's not something I need to do. It's not something I want to do. But I can't let this thing sit here and just rot until I can actually get all my money saved up, because we're paying bills and stuff like that, you know. But a friend of mine, he finally talked me into doing it. I don't like to do it, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm gonna set up a GoFundMe page. Whoever's watching this video, y'all can subscribe to watch. If you want to, you can donate. If not, you're not gonna hurt my feelings. I don't care if it's $1 or $10. You ain't gonna hurt my feelings. But every little bit would help. I know I'm probably not gonna raise this right here. I mean, I'm probably not gonna raise that, but oh well. You know, I believe in working for your own stuff and working for, you know, what you want. But you know, I'm kind of in a pinch because this happened just the other day, and now, you know, I'm driving my wife's SUV, and now she's you know, stuck driving her mama's car. So, but it is what it is. Stuff happens. So I'm gonna try to look into setting up a GoFundMe page, and you know, if y'all want to donate, y'all can. If not, like I said, it's not gonna hurt my feelings. You know, y'all don't need to donate, you know, but you know, a friend of mine talked me into it. He said, just set it up and see what happens. You might get nothing, you might get something. I was like, well, if I get something, I'll be good. If I don't get nothing, oh well. So, but that's what's going on. I'll be making an introduction video probably tomorrow, next week. Also, something else. I had another friend of mine. He's also a YouTuber. You know, he asked me about doing a facial video, because I don't show my face too much in my videos, or hardly at all. Reason being, number one, I don't even like looking at myself in the mirror. So that's one of the reasons. But just stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, because there are some series of videos that will be coming up here soon on tearing this thing down and building it back up with some bulletproof parts. So till then, peace out and God bless.